High above the western Mongolian steppe, the Melora survey ship Silent Wing completed its third orbital pass. Its AI had cataloged 47,000 biological signatures and dismissed all but one. The anomaly category was unprecedented. Sorcery-level interspecies behavior. The AI had no precedent for what it was seeing. Lead researcher PES-4 was pulled from his analysis pod by an emergency ping he had never received before.
Report. The AI doesn't flag sorcery without cause. What did it find?
The duty officer pulled up the drone feed, zooming in on a remote valley in the Altai Mountains. The image solidified into something that should not exist. A human girl, perhaps 13, rode bareback on a sturdy steppe pony. Perched on her leather gauntleted arm was a golden eagle with a 7-foot wingspan. The eagle was an apex predator, capable of killing with a single talon strike. And yet, it sat calmly, scanning the horizon like it was simply a hunting partner.
This isn't symbiosis, it's sorcery. No adolescent human should be able to command a creature like that without technology. I want full, continuous surveillance. Every drone on it. Do not lose visual contact until I say otherwise.
And so the Silent Wing began its vigil over a tradition that had thrived on Earth for 4,000 years. A bond the Melora had no framework to understand. The drones followed the girl and an old man across the frozen steppe. The man pointed toward a flicker of movement in the distance.
There, Olivia. A red fox. Show me what Salkin can do.
He won't escape, grandfather. Watch.
Olivia let out a piercing whistle. The golden eagle launched from her arm, wings unfurling like a weapon drawn. On the Silent Wings bridge, the crew froze. They were witnessing a juvenile human command an apex predator with a sound.
No neural link, no drone interface. She simply willed it to hunt, and it obeyed.
Salkin folded his wings and dove. A speeding arrow of feathers and fury. The strike was instant. Talons met Fox in a cloud of snow and crimson. Olivia whistled again, a single clear note. The eagle released its prey and soared upward. She extended her arm. Salkin landed softly on the gauntlet, as if the entire kill had been a shared motion. On the bridge, PES-4 replayed the kill from 3 angles. He zoomed in on the girl's face, searching for a neural interface scar. Nothing explained it.
Run a full spectral analysis. Scan for any concealed tech, psionic residue, or radio signal. I don't care how unlikely. Find it.
The scans cycled for an hour. No implants. No radio waves, no biochemical anomalies. The eagle was simply a wild animal obeying a whistle.
This is beyond biology. She summoned a killer from the sky with a sound, and it returned like a pet. No restraint, no threat display. I am witnessing sorcery. There is no other word for it.
The term echoed on the bridge. Sorcery was a classified threat category, an accusation that could destabilize diplomatic protocols.
If I don't report this, I am violating the survey mandate. But if I do, the council might think I've lost my mind. The data is irrefutable. Initiate the legal filing. Protocol 7, subsection 12, sorcery level interspecies anomaly. I'll take full responsibility.
One officer hesitated, but PES-4 silenced him with a glare. No one argued further. On the steppe below, the girl and the old man rode toward their camp, completely unaware of the storm gathering in orbit. PES-4 pressed his palm to the holographic seal. The document pulsed once, then vanished into subspace. A legal accusation of sorcery against a human child.
There, it's done. The galaxy will either vindicate me or condemn me. But I could not look at that footage and pretend I saw nothing.
The filing arrived at the Galactic Council in less than a standard hour. The morning session ground to a halt as the priority alert flared across every chamber. The footage of Olivia and Salkin filled the central holosphere. A juvenile human, an eagle, and a kill that defied every known principle of predator behavior. Delegates began shouting over each other. Sorcery was not a word used lightly. It implied a threat to the natural order. Some called it a hoax, a trick of doctored data. Others demanded an immediate quarantine. The word containment rippled through the tiers.
Let them argue. I've seen it. That girl has a power beyond science. Denying it would be the real madness.
Amid the chaos, the senior procedural officer raised a single manipulator. The chamber fell silent. A motion was tabled. A field investigation led by the Melora Bureau with Council Ethnology oversight. The debate was far from settled. On Earth, Olivia unsaddled her pony and slipped into the warmth of the juror, her eagle hooded and calm beside her. She had no idea she was now the subject of galactic law. The procedural officer recognized a voice from the ethnology tier. Ultra Than, a scholar who had studied 100 sapient cultures, rose to address the chamber. The council quieted not out of fear, but respect. Ultra Than had never spoken idly.
I have examined the footage. Before we invoke sorcery, consider another possibility. Cultural practice. Earth may harbor traditions we have no framework for.
He replayed the hunt, slowing it to show the girl's hands, the eagle's posture, the absence of restraint.
See the hood. A hooded raptor is a trained raptor, not a possessed one. The creature is not under mind control. It has been taught. This is not sorcery. It's something older, deeper. A bond we've never encountered because we've never looked.
A pair of tactical delegates objected, demanding containment. But Ultra Than's reputation carried weight.
Let me lead a field investigation. I will go to Earth, observe directly, and bring back the truth, whatever it may be.
The motion was amended. Ultra Than would lead a joint Melora Council delegation. The vote passed. Ultra Than returned to his seat, already composing a preliminary list of questions. The truth awaited on the step, and he intended to find it. 3 days later, a Melora scout shuttle breached the atmosphere over the Altai Mountains. Its landing thrusters sent a plume of vapor across the frozen steppe, a plume Frank noticed immediately.
Olivia, something from above is landing. Get your pony.
What is it, grandfather? A falling star.
Stars do not fall this slowly. Come, we will greet it together.
The shuttle's ramp lowered. Ultra Than descended first, his iridescent robes catching the cold sun. Behind him, Kret clutched a scanner, his purple skin taut with suspicion.
They're beautiful and nervous. The purple one keeps looking at Salkin like he expects to be eaten.
Olivia nudged her horse forward. Salkin ruffled his feathers, untroubled by the visitors.
I am Ultra Than, ethologist of the Galactic Council. We come in peace, seeking understanding. May we approach?
You may. I am Olivia of the Kazakh. This is my eagle, Salkin. Welcome to our land.
And so the first contact unfolded not with weapons or demands, but with a teenage girl and her eagle, inviting strangers to tea. The walk to the Jer was short. Frank held the painted door open, and the two aliens ducked inside, their iridescent robes and purple skin vanishing into the warm glow. Inside, the Jer was a sanctuary of color. Woven rugs covered the floor, a cast iron stove crackled, and cushions were arranged around a low table. The air smelled of milk tea and burning dung patties.
Please, sit anywhere. I'll prepare tea. Grandfather, is the translator working?
It says it's calibrated. They should understand us now. You have translation technology. Our scans detected no active power signatures in this dwelling.
My grandfather is a tinkerer. He found your language in the radio signals years ago and built a simple decoder. Nothing fancy.
A primitive human built a decoder from intercepted signals. This species either has hidden capabilities, or they are exceptionally resourceful. Neither sits well.
Remarkable. A self-taught linguist who deciphered our language from background noise. Your world holds many surprises.
Olivia knelt by the stove, pouring steaming milk tea into clay bowls. Near the wall, Salkin the eagle perched on a wooden stand, hooded and utterly still, a living statue of trust. Kret scanned the interior with a subtle hum. No energy signatures, no hidden tech, only wool, leather, and the faint scent of herbs. The girl was simply offering tea.
You directed the eagle without technology. What is the nature of this control?
7 generations of Burkuchi. We train eagles as hunting partners. Salkeen and I trust each other completely.
A non-sapient predator does not negotiate. There must be a hidden mechanism. Pheromones, ultrasonic signals.
The hood keeps him calm. When I remove it, he knows we hunt. He returns because he chooses to.
An eagle is not a machine. You earn its respect. Day by day, year by year.
No trace of deceit. If this is a trick, it is the most elaborate ever staged. Yet her calmness radiates truth.
Words are not evidence. We must observe a hunt. Only then will I accept this as natural behavior.
Tomorrow morning, before the sun climbs high, we will hunt. You can watch from the hill.
And so the agreement was made. At dawn, the aliens would witness the hunt that had triggered a sorcery investigation, now freely offered over a bowl of milk tea. Outside, the wind howled across the steppe. Inside, Salkin stirred on his perch as if the eagle itself knew the bond would be tested come morning. The night passed with the kind of stillness only a steppe winter can offer. By the time the first gray light bled through the Jur's smoke hole, Olivia was already awake. She crossed to Salkin's perch and gently removed his hood. The eagle's amber eyes locked onto hers, a silent question.
Up, Salkin.
The eagle hopped onto her gauntleted arm in a single motion, talons gripping with practiced gentleness. Kret's scanner hummed louder.
No signal, no biochemical shift. The bird is responding to vocal command alone, like a trained pet, yet it is a wild predator.
He's never been a pet. He's my hunting partner. There's a difference, but I can't explain it with numbers.
Ultra Than watched the exchange, his iridescent skin flickering with concentration. This was not the relationship of a master and a tool.
We have seen enough in this confined space. Let us witness the bond in the open steppe, where it is truly forged.
Olivia nodded and led the way outside. The steppe stretched pale and frozen under the rising sun, and the hill she pointed to was already dusted with fresh snow. Kret set up a portable observation device on the ridgeline. The hunt was not a trial anymore. It was the answer to a question the galaxy had been afraid to ask. Olivia and Frank rode into the frozen valley, Salkin hooded and still on her arm. The aliens watched the distant figures through magnification scopes.
There, Olivia. A red fox digging near the stream. Show them what a Burkuchi can do.
Steady, Salkin. We'll show them what a Burkuchi can do.
She whistled once. The hood slipped off, and Salkin launched into the dawn sky with a cry that echoed across the valley. On the ridge, Kret's scanner emitted a frustrated chime. No signal, no command. Only pure, ancient instinct channeled by a girl. Salkin folded his wings and dove, a blur of gold and brown, faster than any Melora projectile. The fox never saw him. Talons hit like a hammer, crushing through snow and fur. The kill was silent and absolute.
No technology could match that. She didn't control the eagle. She asked it to hunt, and it answered.
Another whistle, and Salkin released the fox. He soared back and landed softly on her arm, as if the kill was theirs together.
This isn't sorcery. It's something sacred, and we almost committed a great injustice.
Olivia and Frank rode up the ridge, Salkin still hooded on her arm. The aliens stood frozen, their instruments forgotten.
You wanted proof. Here is the bond.
Ultra Than stared at the rope, a plain strip of worn leather, no technology, no hidden signal. Just the weight of trust.
This rope tethers an apex predator. She offers it without fear, because the bird chooses to stay. This is not sorcery. It's a covenant.
He closed his hand around the leather. The eagle did not stir.
I understand now. It's partnership. Sacred partnership.
Tears welled in his eyes, the first tears ever recorded by a Melora field ethnologist. They fell silently onto the rope.
The sorcery investigation is suspended. Immediately.
Kret's scanner went dark. For the first time in his career, he had no argument. The evidence was not in the data. It was in the tears of a senior delegate. The sun rose fully over the steppe, and for a long moment, no one spoke. A girl, an eagle, and a rope had bridged a gap that 1,000 years of technology could not.
Your suspension is noted, but protocol requires a biopsionic scan. If there is a latent ability, we must know.
Olivia nodded without hesitation. Kret raised the scanner, and a soft blue light washed over her. The readout flickered and resolved into a single word in Melora script: negative. No psionic signature, no anomalous brainwave activity.
Nothing. The bond is entirely behavioral. I have no further objections.
Then the council will hear the truth. I will contact Pesvor and demand a formal retraction.
Frank's homemade communicator crackled to life. Ultrathan input a priority code, and the device began searching for a secure channel to the silent wing.
Pesvor will not yield easily, but I have the evidence. The rope, the tears, the scan, and a girl who trusts an eagle.
The screen flickered, and Pesvor's purple face materialized, his yellow eyes already narrowing with suspicion.
Pesvor, the sorcery filing must be withdrawn. I have direct evidence that this is cultural tradition, not supernatural manipulation.
On the other side of the jar, Olivia fed Salkin a strip of dried meat, as calm as the night before. The storm was still in orbit, but its edge was beginning to break.
Withdraw. On your sentiment alone. The protocol demands proof. Ultrathan, not tears.
The proof is behavioral. The girl holds no tech, no psionics. The eagle chooses to return. That is evidence.
Evidence. A conditioned response is not proof of sapience. You are letting your emotions cloud your judgment.
I have the scan data, the rope, the hunt. If you refuse, I will bring this to the Ethics Council. Your career will not survive a false sorcery claim.
He's not bluffing. The Ethics Council would crucify me. I would be the laughingstock of the Bureau.
The jar fell silent. Even the stove seemed to hold its breath.
Fine. I will retract the filing, but I expect a full anthropological paper to replace it, authored by you.
Agreed. It will be the most detailed ethnological study ever conducted on a pre-contact tradition.
The retraction will be filed within the hour. Do not make me regret this.
The screen went dark. The storm of sorcery was over, but the real work was about to begin. Within the hour, the retraction was filed. The sorcery investigation closed. For the delegation, the work just began. They requested to stay. Frank agreed. He had 7 generations of stories to tell.
To understand the eagle, understand our ancestors. I will tell you of the first Bakuchi.
Kret activated his recorders, his skepticism now a scholar's hunger. Every word Frank spoke was data.
The best way to understand is to try. Here, hold this lure.
Ultrathan extended his hand, his iridescent fingers trembling slightly as he took the strip of dried meat.
No sudden moves. Just hold it out. He'll come when he's ready.
The eagle hopped from Olivia's arm, landing softly on Ultrathan's hand, and took the offering with a delicate chirp.
The eagle's beak brushed my skin, and I was not afraid. I was honored beyond words.
Kret lowered his scanner. He wasn't recording data anymore, just witnessing the impossible. The delegation's shuttle engines hummed outside the jar. Their time on Earth was ending.
We will carry your story to the council, Olivia. The galaxy will know of the Berkuchi bond.
4,000 years we have hunted with the eagle, father to daughter. Now the stars will know our tale.
Next year, at the Golden Eagle Festival, I will win. Come back and see what a Kazakh girl can do.
Ultrathan bowed deeply, a gesture of profound respect he had learned from Frank. Then he turned to the shuttle. The shuttle lifted off in a cloud of vapor, ascending until it was a bright speck against the endless blue. Later, as dusk fell, Olivia sat on the hill alone. A shooting star arced overhead, the shuttle leaving orbit.
They'll come back, and I'll follow them into the sky someday. But first, I have a festival to win.
The sorcery investigation that had begun as an accusation ended as a promise to return, to witness, to learn. And somewhere above, Ultrathan looked down at the blue-green world, a leather rope still clutched in his hand. The directive arrived from the council. Pesvor, must author the anthropological paper replacing his sorcery filing.
A 12,000-page ethnography. They want to bury my career in documentation.
He began with the field recordings, hours of interviews, the hunt footage, the bioscan data. Each file was a new puzzle piece. He expected dry observation. Instead, Frank's voice filled his quarters, telling stories of eagle training passed through 7 generations.
4,000 years. The Melora have been spacefaring for half that time. How did we miss this?
He watched Olivia's hunt for the 50th time. The eagle's recall, the girl's smile, it became less a mystery and more a masterpiece. His notes grew from a few paragraphs into hundreds of pages. The sorcery narrative crumbled under the weight of cultural evidence.
She is not a sorcerer. She is a custodian of a living tradition.
The manuscript reached 5,000 pages, then 10,000. Every folktale, every technique, every whistle pattern found its place.
I filed sorcery. What I should have filed was wonder.
Pesvor submitted the final manuscript through the Bureau's highest clearance channel. It was 12,000 pages, titled Cross-Species Cooperative Predation on Earth. The council convened an extraordinary session. The sorcery footage was replaced by a holographic projection of the paper's cover. Ultra Than rose to present the foreword he had written. His voice carried the weight of transformation.
This document is not a correction of an error. It is the discovery of a bond we never knew existed. Read it and weep as I did.
Delegates who had demanded quarantine listened in silence. The word sorcery was struck from the record. Within days, the paper was cited by 12 other species on 4 worlds. Educators requested thousands of copies. In a classroom on a distant colony, alien children watched a hologram of Olivia and Salkin diving after a fox, their young faces alight with wonder. Pesvor received a private message. His work had restored the Bureau's credibility and opened a new field of cooperative ethology. He did not smile. Instead, he opened a new document and began writing a personal apology to a 13-year-old girl in Mongolia. The paper's final chapter was titled The Festival. It was a promise to witness the tradition alive. 1 year later, the steppe was alive with color. The Golden Eagle Festival had drawn thousands to the Altai foothills. Olivia rode into the arena, Salkin hooded on her arm. The judges, the crowd, even the wind seemed to hold its breath. She removed the hood. Salkin took to the sky, a streak of gold against the deep blue. He struck the drag lure at full speed, talons locking with precision. A perfect score from every judge. When Salkin returned to her arm, the crowd erupted. The youngest champion in 60 years, the Golden Eagle trophy was placed in her hands. Olivia held it high. Salkin balanced on her other gauntlet. From the VIP stand, Frank clapped. His weathered face shone with a pride that the stars would notice. A familiar figure emerged from the crowd. Ultra Than stepped forward, carrying a small glowing crystal.
From the galaxy that once called you sorcery, I bring a token of honor. Your bond has taught us what we missed.
He placed the crystal in her palm. The light pulsed gently, as if the stars themselves had come to applaud a Kazakh girl and her eagle. Back in the Jer, the festival noise faded into the melody of the steppe wind. Olivia and Frank sat in the familiar amber glow, the crystal humming like a living ember in her palm. Because of you, Olivia, we now teach cooperative predation in our schools.
They're learning about us, grandfather, across the stars.
7 generations, and now the universe knows. Your mother would be proud.
The stove crackled, as if adding its own applause. Outside, through the felt walls, Salkin's silhouette perched patiently. She touched the crystal again. A boy with a toy lure drew an eagle. His laughter, even through the recording, danced like wind chimes.
I promised them I'd win again. Next year and the year after.
You are the 8th generation, the first to carry the eagle to the stars.
The crystal dimmed, but its light had already taken root in the Jur's warmth, a quiet covenant between a girl and a galaxy. That night, Olivia dreamed of flying, not on eagle back, but in a ship among the stars she knew were watching. 2 years later, the Golden Eagle Festival cheered for Olivia again. She lifted her third trophy, but her gaze searched for Frank in the stands. His hands trembled with age, but his smile was bright as he watched her from the VIP section.
3 wins. I kept my promise. Now it's time to keep another.
The morning after the festival, Olivia took Salkin to the high ridge, the same hill where she once watched the stars.
Fly strong, Salkin. The stars are watching you now.
The eagle launched, wings sweeping the wind, and soared higher until he was a speck of gold against the endless blue. Olivia's hand remained lifted, empty gauntlet feeling light. She did not wipe her tears. That evening, she returned to the juror with a new eaglet, a small, fierce-eyed creature named Genis, meaning victory. Frank held the eaglet for a moment, his old hands steady. The 9th generation, he whispered. The 9th generation had begun, and the stars would soon know a new name. One winter, Frank laid down his fur hat for the last time. The stars he had taught Olivia to love received him. Olivia trained Janus with the same patience, the same quiet whistle, the same strips of meat. Sometimes at dusk she looked up, and the old crystal pulsed a faint reply from the galaxy. The paper became standard curriculum across 12 systems. Humanity was no longer an anomaly but a lesson. And somewhere in the council, Ultrathan told the story again. The girl, the eagle, the rope. She knew Frank was watching too, from somewhere among the stars.
I'll show them again, grandfather. The 9th generation is only the beginning.
Olivia walked the hill with Genis on her arm, the rising sun warming her face. The legacy of the Berkuchi was no longer confined to earth. It belonged to the sky, and the sky remembered. The steppe slept under a blanket of stars. On the highest hill, a solitary figure sat with an eagle on her arm.
Do you see them, Genis? The stars that once called us Sorcery.
The eagle chirped softly, as if in reply. A streak of light crossed the sky, a ship, or a promise.
We'll show them again. The girl and her eagle. The bond that no sorcery could explain.
Janus spread his wings, catching the wind. They watched the light fade into the distance together.
Grandfather, the stars still remember, and so will I.
The 10th generation of Berkuchi would begin at dawn, with a whistle, a hood, and trust that spanned the galaxy. And somewhere among the stars, a leather rope rested in an alien hand, still tied to a tale of wonder. The sky remembered, and the story had only just begun.